All right, so you've made a fantastic choice to study in Ireland. That's a huge first step. But the big question is, right, how do you take that amazing education and actually turn it into a successful career? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today, your complete guide to starting your professional life here on the Emerald Isle. We've got 5 key stages for you. First, we'll look at the incredible opportunity here. Then, what do employers actually want? After that, we'll talk about building up your experience, nailing that application, and finally, the big one, how to get your work visa. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first, the Irish opportunity. Let's really get into why Ireland is such a hot spot for careers right now, and more importantly, what's in it for you. Let's just start with the money, shall we? The average salary in Ireland is sitting right around 45,000 euros a year. Now, that alone is a pretty big deal. It tells you there's real financial potential here for graduates, and that the economy is, well, it's strong. But hold on, it gets even more interesting when you dig a little deeper. That average number? It's just the start. If you're in IT, you're looking at an average closer to 69,000 euros. Finance, 65,000. And even in really important fields like healthcare and pharma, the salaries are way up there. So the lesson here is pretty clear, right? Picking the right industry, that can be a game changer. And speaking of tech, it's not just that the pay is good. The real story is the kind of skills that are in demand. We're talking about the future here. Ireland's tech scene is absolutely exploding, and companies are desperate for people who know AI and machine learning, cybersecurity, cloud technologies, data analytics, you name it. These aren't just trendy jobs. This is where the whole economy is headed. Okay, so we know where the opportunities are, but knowing where the good jobs are is only half the battle. What does it actually take to get one of those jobs? Let's talk about what employers really want to see. Think of it like this. Employers are looking at 2 different kinds of skills. You've got your discipline-specific skills, the technical stuff, like being able to code or do the accounting. Those skills, they'll get your foot in the door. They'll get you the interview. But then you have the transferable skills. Those are the skills that convince them you're the right person for the team. Honestly, that's what lands you the job.
So what are we talking about here? What are these magic skills? Well, it's the stuff you hear about all the time, but it's so important. Communication, teamwork, being a good problem solver, but also things like being adaptable and having some emotional intelligence, being able to handle change. Companies need to know you're not just a robot who can do one task. They want to see that you can think, collaborate, and really be a part of the team.
And if you're wondering, okay, how do I get better at that? Don't forget about your university's career services. Seriously, take it from Jasmine Yunus, a UCD grad. She talks about how they ran a mock interview for her and helped her figure out exactly where she needed to improve. These services are there for a reason. They're literally set up to help you win.
Which actually leads us perfectly into our next point, building your experience. Because look, your degree is awesome. It's the foundation. But it's that hands-on, real-world experience that's going to make you pop.
And the great thing is, you don't have to wait until you graduate. The rules in Ireland are pretty clear. As an international student, you can work up to 20 hours a week when class is in session, and then full-time, 40 hours a week during the holidays. This is a golden opportunity, so you should absolutely take advantage of it. And listen, it doesn't have to be some high-powered internship right away. Any local experience counts for so much. A part-time job, volunteering, it all does a few really important things. It starts building your work history in Ireland. It gives you local people who can vouch for you, local referees for your CV. And it shows employers those soft skills we were just talking about, like being reliable. Plus, you get to meet people and get a feel for how things work here.
I love this quote from Abhijit Sinha, who graduated from the University of Limerick. He basically says you have to be proactive. Get yourself to those job fairs. Follow the companies you're interested in on LinkedIn. And again, hit up that career clinic at your university. The point is, you can't just wait for experience to find you. You've got to go out and hunt for it.
All right, you've got the education, you're building up your experience. Now for the moment of truth, the application. This is where you put it all together and tell a story that makes an employer say, we need to talk to this person. Okay, let me give you the #1 tip, the biggest mistake I see people make. Please do not send out the same generic CV to every single job. It just doesn't work. You have to tailor it. Read the job description, look at the specific skills they're asking for, and then tweak your CV and your cover letter to match. Show them that you are the answer to their specific problem. Now, once your awesome CV gets you that interview, you need a secret weapon. And that weapon is called the STAR method. This is your go-to framework for answering all those tricky, tell me about a time when you questions. It's a way to structure your answers so they're clear, powerful, and actually prove you can do what you say you can do. And it's super simple to remember. STAR. First, you describe the situation. Just set the scene. Then, the task. What was your goal? Next, the action. What did you specifically do? And finally, the result. What was the awesome outcome? If you can master this, your interview answers will be so much more confident and memorable. I promise.
Okay, let's tackle the final piece of the puzzle. And I know this is the one that can feel the most intimidating, getting your work visa. But don't worry, we're going to break it down and make it a lot less scary.
The timeline is actually pretty predictable, which is great. So your course finishes up around September. A little while after that, you get your final transcript. That's your green light. In October, you apply for what's called the Stamp 1G visa. And usually by November, you'll have it. Just like that, you're ready to start working full-time.
So what is this Stamp 1G thing? Basically, it's a huge upgrade from your student visa, the Stamp 2. You go from only being able to work part-time to being able to work full-time 40 hours a week. And here's the best part. You don't need a company to sponsor you at this stage. That is a massive advantage. It gives you the breathing room to go out and find the right job, not just the first one that comes along.
And hey, if you're doing a master's degree, that's a level 9 qualification, there's an extra bonus for you. Your Stamp 1G can last for up to 24 months. That's 2 whole years. 2 years to work, get amazing experience, and find an employer who'll sponsor you for the long haul. It's a really great runway.
Okay, so let's recap the roadmap real quick. Number 1, aim for those fast-growing industries. 2, work on both your technical skills and those all-important transferable skills. 3, get some local work experience on your CV. 4, become a pro at the STAR method for interviews. And 5, get comfortable with how the visa process works. If you can tick these boxes, you're going to be in great shape.
Look, choosing to study in Ireland was a brilliant move. You got the education, you're building the skills, and now you have a clear plan. So really, there's just one question left to answer. What kind of amazing career are you going to build here?